profession of pottery making, right? Clay pottery making from this rural, place. Okay, mostly in coastal Karnataka, especially Udupi, Mangalore till Karwar, there is still community called as Kumbhar. Okay, Kumbhar community, who are mostly known of the knowledge of making clay pots. They know the art of making clay pots. So they were the traditional people who used to own the profession of making clay pots. Okay, so there were a lot of equipments that were made till 1880s or so. In any household here, they used to make only clay pots. Okay, they used to cook in only clay pots, earthenware pots. After the industrial revolution, cheaper metals started coming in for replacement of copper and brass, like endolium, aluminium, okay, Teflon. All these things came into existence, so people started forgetting the use of earthenware pots because this is very difficult to handle. If you understand well, it is very easy to handle. Okay, but the durability of this and all these things were questioned. So that is the reason people slowly started moving towards these cheap metals. But eventually, people realize now that they have, harm to our body, long-term harm to our body, right? So all these things, we as culinary experts or future culinary chefs, right, professionals, we have to implement these in our day-to-day life, in our professional setup also, so that we can promote all these things, right? So this is 100% sustainable. Like, say for example, if endolium or any other metal based utensil gets spoiled, what do? You throw it off. Okay, throw it off. Ideally it goes to the garbage, and then segregation happens, and then goes to industry and then reforms, right? There is a lot of energy consumed. But for this, if this breaks, where it goes? Back into the soil, back to Mother Nature, right? Where you get this crude form, the clay, where do you get it from? Soil, Mother Nature. So Mother Nature takes, Mother Nature gives. It is 100% full circle, right? It's like sustainable, 100% sustainable. Everybody talks about big things, sustainable practices, this, that, and all these things. If you start using these things, you are not better than sustainable, you are extremely good to sustainability, to nature, right? You are not breaking anything. You are not breaking any rules. If this breaks, it goes to Mother Nature. You bring one more, right? So once, after a few years, this broken chips also will transform into clay, right? So now, what is in my hand? Can anybody say? Bisale, right? Bisale is in a local term. Okay, local term is Tulu. In Tulu, they call it bisale, right? This is a unique equipment used for making fish curries, especially sardine, out of sardine curry, right? It comes out very good, right? So in Malayalam they call it meen chatti, all right? So this is, on the other hand, we call it odu, right? Odu. They call it uppu dose odu, all right? Or kappa rotti odu. Kappa rotti kavali in Kannada, odu in Tulu, all right? So what they do, they prepare one dosa kind of preparation in this, like a breakfast preparation in this coastal area, right? It looks like appam itself, same like appam, but appam is a fermented batter. This is a straight batter. You soak rice overnight, add little coconut, add little bit of salt, and put it in there, and then cook it. Okay, you put one cover on this and cook it underneath flame, right? So once it is cooked, the center will be nice and soft, outside will be nice and crisp. Okay, so yeah, that's how you do. So ideally, here when you buy a earthenware pot, okay, you cannot take it inside the house directly. It's considered inauspicious, because you take earthenware pots, especially this kind of pots, madke, right? When somebody is dead at home, okay, to put that, when you do in Hindu culture, you do this cremation ceremony, you put in one pot you'll put water, in one pot you'll put fire, cold, right? And then these things go first and then the body comes, right? So that's considered very inauspicious, right? So for that reason, what they do, they blacken these earthenware pots, especially in this particular region, or they do some rangoli on this with charcoal, so that they can take it inside. That saying that I'm going to use this earthenware pot only for cooking, right? Let no negative energy come in with this pot. So that's the reason they do. Otherwise, you have to blacken it. How do you do blackening? Okay, you put it on a chula. Consider this is a chula. Put it upside down. Put the fire underneath. Okay, and any fresh leaves. Okay, from Malabar ironwood or something like that, or cashew shell. After cashew nuts, you remove. You have the shells. You burn it on. It will create smoke. That smoke will cover up entire place and it will become black completely. So what it does is any pores inside will be completely covered, sealed. And once this is done, you put starch, full of starch, and keep it there. Okay, overnight. This thing is continued for 3 days. Today you put starch, keep it overnight. Next morning you throw that starch because it will be sour. You clean it off, put fresh starch, then keep it. Then next day do the same. So once it is done completely, once you remove the starch, you apply something called as, to strengthen the starch.
Oil.
No. Malabar spinach. You put Malabar spinach leaves and rub it nicely so that it secures the sides. Okay, it becomes nice and glossy, right? If not Malabar spinach, what can you use? Hibiscus leaves, yes, very good. Okra leaves, yes, very good. Everything which contains slime in it, you can apply. Okay, so once that is done, your bisale is all ready to use for cooking. Likewise for this also, for any other equipment. Okay, all right? Yeah. So now what you do, you gather around, see, not gather around, you just wander around, see what is there, what you feel. There are a lot of, artifacts around. You have decorative items, you have earthenware pots. I don't suggest you buy earthenware pots now because while traveling it might break. Okay, when you're traveling home, now you know the address here. Take their contact numbers if you want. When you're traveling home, if you want to buy, when your parents come, you bring them together and buy whatever you require and then go. Small artifacts is fine, but bigger things and all you don't buy. I suggest. Okay. What? All good? Yeah. Carry on. Let's go.
Sir,